we're back with another chapter of The Mind by LizzeXX. We are currently on chapter 23, which is the second part of the Age of Steel episode. If you want to follow along, check links to both archives and fanfiction.net are in the description below if you use the computers, which I really do highly recommend. There's not really any difference, it's just that sometimes archive will have like pictures from the episode which has age again, so that's all. But anyway, let's just get started with chapter 23, Age of Steel, Upgrade. The small group stood at the edge of the Thames, looking at the battersea factory just across the water. The whole of London's been sealed off. The entire population's been taken inside that place, the doctor replied. Be converted. We gotta get in there and shut it down, Rose said. How do we do that? Mickey shook his head. Oh, I'll think of something, the doctor shrugged. You're just making this up as you go along. Yep, but I did it brilliantly. Rose smirked as Mickey had to nod. Unfortunately so, Angel agreed as well from her spot beside the doctor, the man having not let go of her hand since they got into the van. I found something, Mrs. Moore called as she brought up a 3D model of Battersea for them all to look at as they crowded around her. That's a schematic of the old factory. Look, cooling tunnels underneath the plant, big enough to walk through. We go under there and up into the control center. The doctor nodded to a line of tunnels. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Moore nodded. There's another way in, Pete said, as everyone turned to him, listening. Through the front door. If they've taken Jackie for upgrading, that's how she'll get in. We can't just go strolling up, Jake said, joining them as he'd been standing a few feet away, unwilling to be near Mickey. Or we could, with these. Mrs. Moore pulled out 2 pairs of earpods from her bag, the doctor taking one, letting go of Angel's hand. Fake earpods. Dead. No signal. But put them on, the siren would mistake me for one of the crowd. So that's my job, Pete determined. You have to show no emotion, Angel warned, knowing better than anyone what the cybers were good for. She was proud of the fact that the one time she'd actually tried to learn something was because of her mother's death. She learned all about the cybers because she hated them and because if they attacked her, she wanted to know how to fight back. She wanted to know their weaknesses, how to exploit them, how to hurt them. And that left her feeling so ill to look back on that and realize that had been why she'd been so eager to learn about them. It upset her. She didn't like attacking anyone, hurting anyone, but at that point in her life, she was so angry, so hurt, so devastated. She needed to do something. Centuries had passed since her mother had died, and with that time came a sort of healing. She mourned her mother, still missed her, but all that hate that had built up slowly had disappeared, muted. She supposed she'd seen the future, so to speak, during the war. That's when it truly hit her the path she'd been headed on oh so long ago. The Daleks were nothing but hate. They were the epitome of it. One needs only meet a Dalek to know what hate looked like, and she did not want to become that. None at all, she continued. Show any sign of emotion and it'll give you away. How many of those have you got? Rose asked Mrs. Moore. Just 2 sets? The woman sighed. Okay, she nodded. If that's the best way of finding Jackie, I'll go with you. She stood and moved to Pete's side. Why is she mad to you? Pete frowned. We haven't got time. Doctor, Angel, I'm going with him, and that's that. No stopping you, is there? The doctor glanced at her. Nope. He shot an earpod at her. Tell you what, we can take the earpods at the same time. Give people their minds back. So they don't walk into that place like sheep. Jake boy? The doctor lightly pushed Jake towards the bank of the Thames as Angel turned. Vicky, with us. She nodded him over, bringing him up alongside the doctor and Jake as the two looked at the reception station over Battersea. Lyrics transmitting the control signal, and it must be from over there. The doctor pointed his sign at the craft. There it is, on the Zeppelin, you see? Great big transmitter. Good thing unit lights showing off. Do you think the two of you could take it out? Angel looked between the two of them. Jake glared at Mickey. I don't need you, idiot. I'm not an idiot, Mickey shouted at him. Angel had said as much, and if she believed it, he would too. You got that? Angel quickly stepped up and put a hand on his shoulder, tugging him back as she ran on Jake herself. She didn't let the doctor pick on Mickey. She was not about to let anyone else either. He's offering to help, and you are going to take it, understand? Everyone gets a partner for this. We're not going it alone. Got that? Jake eyed her a moment before nodding and turning to the doctor. Consider it done, he muttered, still not very pleased, but understanding. The doctor gave Jake a pat on the shoulder as they turned back to the group. Mrs. Moore, would you care to accompany me and Angel into cooling tunnels? How could I refuse an offer of cooling tunnels? Mrs. Moore replied, standing. You want me to come? Angel asked him quietly. Honestly sounded surprised she'd been invited. It really shouldn't have, though. The doctor seemed just as keen to have her around as she always had with him. He turned to her and Mrs. Moore packed her bag. Why wouldn't I? She shifted back and forth. Well, it's the servicing sound. I'm rather useless, you know. She really could only seem to fix TARDISes. It was the one thing she was very good at doing. The one thing that came naturally to her, and actually is breathing. There was nothing she could do to help the TARDIS as they wait till the power cell kicked in, and it wasn't like she'd been getting any healing. She had to admit was a little odd, but still, they weren't the only two things she was good for. You? He raised his eyebrows. Useless? He took her hand, squeezing it till she looked up at him. Never ever, he breathed. It was so sincerely that she would have to believe him. Even just having her beside him changed more than she could know. He thought faster, he reacted quicker, he felt stronger when she was with him. He bit there as he eyed her for a moment, thinking on her feelings. He actually started to think it wasn't her thing to do with the TARDISes. That allowed her to get a feel for the future. She thought and often insisted, but more an actual gift she already had, physically strengthened by her connection to them. TARDISes, much like their people, were telepathic in nature, linked to their pilots via a psychic connection. She had spent her life around them, and they were 11th dimension beings, able to not only travel in time, but see through it. There was also talk on Earth about environmental factors that could affect the way children develop. Perhaps it was the same for Angel. Perhaps she'd been born a pre-book, and all her time around the TARDISes just helped strengthen her natural gift. He would have to talk to her about that. It seemed like a very plausible explanation, but right now they really had more important things to deal with. Not that he could really classify it that way. To him, nothing was more important than Angel, but he also knew she would want to be safe and sound before she even let him start talking about her. He pulled off his glasses and turned to the group. We attack on three sides, above, between, below. We get to the control center. We stop the conversion machine. They all nodded, turning to head off in their directions, when the doctor saw Angel wince terribly, pressing a hand to the side of her head. Vicky, she called out, turning to him as he stopped and looked back. Good luck, and don't get hit. Vicky smiled, giving her a nod. Yeah, you too. Rose, I'll see you later. Yeah, you better, Rose shouted to him as they all continued on. If we survive this, the doctor told him, we'll see you back at the TARDIS. Make you laugh. That's a promise. It better be, Angel warned him lightly. You come back with so much as a scratch on you, Vicky Smith, and there will be health pay, whatever that means. He chuckled lightly, mock sweeping her, throwing her with those very touched by her concern. She partnered him and Jake together. She trusted him to handle himself. She thought he was capable and ready to do it, and he would prove himself. For her. Good luck, the doctor called to Rose as they all disappeared in their directions. The doctor opened a latch into the cooling tunnels, allowing Mrs. Moore to descend, followed by Angel and then himself. It's freezing here, Mrs. Moore remarked. Well, it's a cooling tunnel, Angel remarked, staring at the woman with a look she was sure others had given her when she said something so obvious. It's not going to be warm, otherwise it'd be a heating vent or something. Mrs. Moore smiled and laughed. Fair enough. Are you sign of a light switch? The doctor squinted, trying to see in the dark. Angel turned to him now. A light switch! In a tunnel! Peter shrugged. They found a horse and pre-revolutionary France on a spaceship. Why not a light switch in a tunnel? Mrs. Moore shook her head. Can't see a thing. But I've got these. She shifted around in her bag and handed the doctor a light to put on his head. A device for every occasion. Oh, the doctor beamed. Put it on, Mrs. Moore told him, finding one for herself and slipping it on. Haven't got a hot dog in there, have you? Starving. Mrs. Moore laughed. Of all the things to wish for, that's mechanically complete. The cyber man of food, Angel smiled. But it's tasty, Philip countered. Those are cookies, Angel remarked. But you don't see me asking for one. He laughed. We'll bake a pause, considering his words. I'll bake you a whole batch when we get back to the TARDIS, he promised. He learned rather quickly that, despite his insistence that he and Angel could bond over him teaching her to cook, she really was terrible in the kitchen, actually dangerous to those around her. He honestly hadn't thought it was possible to burn water when trying to boil it. Angel had proven her wrong. She'd been ready to make tea when an adventure had popped up, rushed off, leaving the kettle on. They'd come back to see the kettle completely charged with bits of burned water stuck to the inside. It frustrated her to no end, but he rather found her attempt adorable. Rose and Mickey seemed to take delight in Angel trying to cook and offering him a taste of it, watching his expression when he tried it and tried to keep from showing how bad it was. Angelo always seemed to know and would just smile and laugh about it too. He loved that, how she could laugh at herself whenever she did do something well. A proper torch. Mrs. Moore handed Angel a handheld torch. She held no more headlights. Thanks, Angel smiled, turning on her light. She turned to flash it down the tunnel, only to jump back and see the doctor at the sight of the Cyberman. The doctor quickly put in his arms around her, steady her and reassure her. They looked down the corridors to see hundreds of them, lining the tunnels. Already converted, just paralyzed, the doctor obsessed, giving Angel a comforting squeeze. Come on! He stepped forward, taking Angel's free hand and leading the way as Mr. Moore followed. He paused briefly by one, tapping on the head to hear the hollow noise. Let's go slowly. Keep an eye out for trip systems. Slower may not be better, Angel commented, rubbing her forehead as her eyes stared into Cybermen as they passed lifeless form after lifeless form. A huge truck drove away from Battersea, a row of Cybermen marching in the opposite direction, and a metallic voice called. Chamber 6 now open for human upgrading. Rose and Pete darted alongside the building, trying to remain unseen. Chamber 7 now open for human upgrading. They watched a row of patrol people walk past. Chamber 8 now open for human upgrading. Just put them on, Pete nodded at the earphones. Don't show any emotion. No signs, nothing, okay? Don't worry, Rose whispered. You can do it. Chamber 7 now open for human upgrading. Pete put his earpods in. You could die in here. Why are you doing this? Let's just say I'm doing it for my mum and dad, Rose remarked, putting her own on as well. Right, let's go. They dashed out from their hiding place and joined a line of people filing into the building. Chamber 8 now open for human upgrading. Chamber 9 now open for human upgrading. Chamber 10 now open for human upgrading. Chamber 11 now open for a human upgrading. Rose and Pete took a breath, walking in, not a flicker of emotion on their faces. Snake climbed the ladder to the roof where a zip line was parked, smiling at the sight. Mickey followed behind him, the two creeping stealthily behind a wall to avoid being seen by the 2 days guards. Two guards, Jake whispered. We can take them. Don't kill them, Mickey warned, grabbing the man's arm as he tried to rush around the corner, stopping him. Who put you in charge? Jake flared, yanking his arm away. If you kill them, what's the difference between you and a Cyberman? Jake paused. Well, I suppose we could use these. He handed Mickey a small cork bottle. Very salt. Mickey eyed them skeptically. Bit stronger than that. One of Mrs. Moore's little tricks. Should knock them out. 3, 2, 1. They ran out from the wall and behind the guards, grabbing them and shoving the bottles under their noses, knocking them out in a second. There got to be more guards on board. Let's go get them, Jake nodded, heading up the ladder into the Zeppelin. The Doctor, Angel, and Mrs. Moore quickly made their way along the tunnel, just talking as they did, the Doctor absently rubbing small circles into the back of Angel's hand as he held it in his own, just trying to offer a small bit of comfort. The tunnel had narrowed to the point where they couldn't walk side by side any longer, so he'd taken a lead, not about to let anything pop out ahead of them to harm Angel. How did you get into this then? He asked, battling along with the teachers. Oh, I used to be honorary, Mrs. Moore sighed. Oh, I doubt that's possible, Angel smiled back at her, making Mrs. Moore smile in return. Worked at Cybers's, she's 95. So one day, I found something I'm not supposed to. A file on the mainframe. All I did was read it, and suddenly I've got bed with guns knocking in the middle of the night, biting around. Then I found the creatures. They needed techie, so I just sat down and taught myself everything. What about Mr. Moore? Angel looked at her. Well, he's not called Moore, she laughed lightly. I got that from a book. Mrs. Moore. Safer not to use real names. But he thinks I'm dead. There's no way to keep him safe, another kid. What about you two? Got any family or just each other? The Doctor said, taking Angel's hand in his own. Oddly enough, he didn't feel bitter or hurt by that fact as much as he had after the war. There had been no love between him and his children, him and his wife on Gallifrey. He did love his children, of course he did, but they had all grown up, had lives of their own, made their own choices to fight in the war. He lost them, yes, he lost everything, and he missed them terribly, but in a way, gained other things in the process. He gained Angel. He knew she would never take the place of his family. She wouldn't even ever try. Just like he could never take the place of her family. But now they were becoming each other's family, a new family, one that he hoped one day might expand. Angel had seemed to jokingly adopt Rose as the younger sister, a joke that they played off in an adventure or two, making a family out of humans. He, while he did love his companions in their own way, he wanted a real family one day, a Time Lord family. But that would be a very long way in the future, possibly centuries, if it even happened. He was not going to rush Angel into anything like he sometimes felt he had by asking her to mate. They hadn't even managed to establish a mental bond yet, and there he was, thinking about children. He did always have a soft spot for children, though, and it was a nice thought. A child, their child. Angel's child, if anything like the mother, would truly be an angel, he knew. A bond of hope for him, hope for a brighter future, and a stronger bond between him and his mate. Not the whole world on our shoulders, Angel joked, lifting up, looking up, nudging him, pulling him from his thoughts. Almost literally. The Doctor laughed a bit at that, before glancing back at Mrs. Moore. Hello, then. What's your real name? Treasure of Grace, Mrs. Moore replied. Don't tell a soul. Not a word, the Doctor promised. None of them noticed a red button behind a Cyberman light up and start beeping, the Cyberman slowly turning its head. An alarm went off in luminous headquarters, a Cyberman striding over to it. Movement in deep cold sticks. Awaken the army, the second Cyberman ordered. Just how much is moved? Mrs. Moore gasped, seeing a Cyber's hand twitch. Just the torchlight, the Doctor reasoned, tightening his hand hold on Angel's hand, feeling her stiffen and tense behind him. Keep going, come on. And then another one in front of them turned to face them. They're waking up! Angel gasped. Run! The Doctor shouted, pulling her off. They bolted down the cooling tunnels as fast as they could, the cyber springing to life behind them. They reached the ladder at the end of the tunnel, scrambled to get up it as the metal men began to make their way towards them. Get up! Mrs. Moore yelled. Quick! They're coming! The Doctor frankly tried to open the sill above them with the sign. Open it! Open it! He managed just in time, throwing it open and climbing up. Get up! They all clambered up. Quick! Quick! Come on! The Doctor called. Come on! They jumped out the hole, smashing the door down on the Cybers as they tried to follow. The doctor's ceiling was the sonic without a moment to spare. That's a bit close, Angel panted. Far too low, she added as a whisper. The doctor looked over at her, knowing it couldn't have been easy to be so close to being trapped with that particular enemy, to have them closing in around her. He quickly made his way over to her, turning her into his arms. Yes, they had a mission to see to. They barely had any time to spare, but he'd always been a fan of wasting time when he didn't have any. Like comforting Angel, that would never be a waste of time. He would always give her as much time as she needed, no matter what. She breathed deeply, hugging him back tightly for a moment, before nodding into his shoulder. Come on, she breathed. We need to stop this. He pulled away, reaching out to gently stroke her cheek a moment. We will, he promised her, taking her hand once more, the three of them heading off. Rose and Pete stood in a line inside the factory as the speaker stated, unit upgrading now 5,500. Repeat, 6,500 and rising. They walked along, emotionless, when a Cyberman and stepped in front of them, stopping Rose from moving on. You will wait, it stated. You okay? Pete whispered to her as the cyber walked off. No, she admitted, frightened. Chamber 6, now open for human upgrading. They stood as people filed forward, ready to be upgraded. All LizzeXX stock will be incinerated. They watched in horror as the woman walked into a cell, blade swooping down at her, converting her. A Cyberman's head lowered down before the door opened and a Cyberman walked out. Any signs of Jackie? Pete whispered. The Cyberman turned and faced them, causing Pete to freeze a moment before it stopped over to him. You are Peter Tyler. Confirmed you are Peter Tyler. Confirmed? He said, almost uncertainly. I recognize you. I went first. My name was Jacqueline Tyler. Oh, Rose gasped. What? Pete's eyes widened. They are unprogrammed, the Cyberman reported. Restrained. Restrained. Polite! You're not her! You're not my Jackie! Several Cybermen stepped forward, ready to hold them back, but Peter lunged forward at the Jackie bot. No, I am Cyberform. Once I was Jacqueline Tyler. But you can't be. Not her, Rose said, horrified. Her brain is inside this body. Jack, I came to save you, Pete muttered. This man worked with Cyber Industries to create our species. The Jackie bot informed the others. You will be rewarded by force. Take them to cyber control. The Jackie bot stomped away as Rose and Pete was grabbed from behind and marched forward. They took her. They just took her and killed her. Rose breathed. This is a chance. Oh, Pete swallowed hard. Maybe we can reverse it. Nothing we can do. But if she remembers, he glanced over his shoulder, only to see a horde of identical Cybermen standing behind them. Where is she? Which one was it? Which one was her? They all look the same, Rose exclaimed before they were roughly shoved forward again. Vicky and Jake entered the control room of LizzeXX, Jake looking around. Nice one, he smiled to see the room deserted. Nobody's home. What are transmitter controls? What do they look like? Vicky asked, trying to find it. I don't know. They might have transmitter controls written in big red letters. Just look, Jake cried desperately. They both looked around the control room when Vicky turned and jumped, seeing a Cyberman right behind him, standing in a dark alcove. Cyberman! Jake pointed his gun at it, but it made no move. Confused, Jake stepped closer and turned on a light switch. Vicky reached out and looked at it, seeing it was lifeless. It's dead, he stated. I don't think it was ever alive. He tapped it on its head, hollow. It's empty. No brain. It's just a robot suit. It's full display. Okay, Jake nodded. Transmitter. They turned ahead in a different direction, looking for it. The Doctor, Angel, and Mrs. Moore slowly crept down a dark hall when a Cyberman appeared before them, starting them. You are not upgraded, the Cyberman assessed, reaching out a hand, ready to attack. Yeah? Mrs. Moore glared. Well, upgrade this. It threw a small device at the cyber, which latched onto its chest. It shot out a spark and electrocuted the little man. making it shake and jerk till it slumped to the floor. What the hell was that thing? The doctor asked, eyes wide. Electromagnetic bomb, Mrs. Moore replied as they moved closer to the cyber. Takes out computers. I figured it might stop the cyber suit. You figured right, the doctor remarked. Let's have a look. He pulled out the sonic and held it to the cyber's logo on its chest. Now, he looked at Angel softly. Know your enemy. He gave him a full smile in return. The logo on the front. Then it turned him into a brand. He pulled it off to see inside. Not still. Angel pointed to the plate the doctor held up for Mrs. Moore to see, indicating a lump of metal attached to it. Look! He reached inside and pulled out a white tissue mess. That flesh! Mrs. Moore grimaced. I think that's the central nervous system, Angel replied, eyeing it. It's artificially grown and basically wired into the fibers. It's what lets them respond, always like a living thing. Well, it is a living thing, the doctor mumbled, rooting around in the chest cup the key. Oh, but look. He pointed to a metal chip. You actually have the data. Angel looked at Mrs. Moore, who was frowning, not sure what that meant. It, it keeps them from healing. But why? Mrs. Moore shook her head, confused. Still got a human brain, the doctor shrugged. Imagine its reaction if it could see itself, realize itself inside this thing. It'd go insane. So they cut out the one thing that makes them see them, because they have to. Why is it cold? The Cyberman called, recovering. Oh my god! Mrs. Moore gasped as Angel tensed. It's alive! It can feel. The blood short circuited his inhibitor. Angel frowned, eyeing the chip instead of the metal man. The doctor moved closer. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why so cold? It asked again. Can you remember your name? Sally. Sally Penn. You're a woman. Mrs. Moore's eyes widened. Where's Gareth? Angel blinked and finally looked at the side of his face. Gareth? He can't. I don't know if I could do that in a Cyberman voice. He can't see me. It's unlucky the night before. We're getting married, Mrs. Moore realized. I'm cold. I'm so cold. Sorry, the doctor whispered. You sleep now, Sally. Just go to sleep. He aimed the sight at the suit, the blue light in the chest turning off. So easy, Angel commented, frowning as she looked at the suit. Really looked at it. To forget they were human once. The doctor looked up at her, realizing this was the closure she needed to deal with her mother's death. To see the human beneath the metal. She'd been so focused for so long on seeing them as unfeeling machines. This was what she needed to remind her they were human. They could still feel, they just couldn't. And then it dawned on him. The emotional inhibitor, he blinked. If he could find the code behind it, the cancellation code, then feed it through the system into every Cyberman's head, Mrs. Moore and Angel looked at him. They realized what they are. And what happens then? Mrs. Moore asked. I think it would kill them. Can we do that? Angel started to shake her head slightly. No, she didn't think she could. Not now that she knew the human was still in there somewhere. We've got to, Mrs. Moore reasoned, before they kill everyone else. The doctor looked down, not wanting that to be the final and only choice. There's no choice, Doctor. It's got to be done. Angel winced, her hand going to her head as Mrs. Moore stood, when Angel suddenly reached out and pulled her back down, the woman nearly falling over the Cyberman till she could see the doctor and Angel. They looked up in shock to see a Cyberman right behind where Mrs. Moore had been standing, its hand out and ready to electrocute her. They scrambled to their feet as more cybers arrived. Sensors detect a binary vascular system. The Cybermen scanned them, not bothering to scan Mrs. Moore too, just lumping her in with them. You are unknown upgrade. You will all be taken for analysis. The cybers started to march off, the doctor and Mrs. Moore with them. The cybers before and behind them, leaving them little choice in the matter. What happened just then? The doctor asked Angel quietly, taking her hand. He'd seen her wince, seen the genuine pain on her face when it happened. He was worried for her, because this hadn't been the first time it had happened, and it just seemed to be getting worse. Just such a sharp pain, Angel replied, shaking her head, not really knowing how else to describe it. I was shocked, and for that moment I got one of my feelings. She looked at Donald slowly, thinking, maybe you really are feels of initiative, he suggested. Whenever they talked about it, Angel would insist it was just an artifact from a lifetime spent around TARDISes, that she was just more sensitive to the future. Maybe the TARDIS allowed you to tap into it more, filtered your abilities for you. Without it, your mind is trying to adapt on its own. Angel frowned. It made a sort of sense, but they really had little time to speculate. This was not the right time or place to worry about that. Jake went over to Vicky, who was standing by a panel that read transmitter controls in a large letter. The transmitter controls are still behind here, Vicky explained. You need like an late oxalate pine or something. Oh no, got to bring it with me, Jake replied sarcastically. Well, then what do we do? We'll crash the Zeppelin with us inside it. We could set it to automatic and just leg it. Let's have a look. He walked over to the controls, tapping on the keyboard and shaking his head. Look, it's got the override. Mickey shoved him out of the way. Let me have a go. I'm good with computers. Trust me. He tapped a few keys as Jake watched. He smiled at himself. He'd never taken a chance like that before. Shoved someone out of the way to do what he could, what he knew he could. He shook his head a bit. Hazel was a good influence on him, always pushing him to think for himself and stand up for his brilliance. So focused were they on watching the screen that neither of them noticed the red light start flashing behind the silent then. And that's the end of chapter 22, I think it is. Were we on chapter? No, 23. We're on chapter 23. It doesn't say. So that's the end of chapter 23. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on this video. Do not comment. I don't want to comment. I want you to review and comment on the chapter. So show the author some love. I don't want any comments on this video. So just good to go. Like I said at the beginning, chat link is in the description below for archive and fanfiction. Use whichever one you want. To show the author some love. But before you do go, be sure to subscribe. Upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video.